others during Lent. Lenten practices for daily life. Here we're speaking about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So firstly, prayer. Prayer can help us to become more responsive to those who suffer. Find ways to pray often during Lent, focusing on the needs of others, those who are the victims of injustice. Here are a couple of suggestions. Firstly, you can gather with your family to look through the newspapers or any newsline or browse the internet to identify injustices occurring throughout the world. Select one injustice. Learn about the causes of the injustice and pray for those who are afflicted by it. Keep track of developing news about the situation and pray together before dinner time, before bedtime, and at Mass as well. Secondly, you can read aloud one of the church's readings for one of the Sundays or weekdays during Lent. Read it with your family before one meal or after a meal each week during Lent. Fasting can help us to recognize and overcome bad habits. It can help us live with an awareness of our dependence on God's love. Here are 2 ways that you can incorporate fasting into your life during Lent. Choose at least one meal each week during Lent at which you will eat less food than normal. Perhaps you can have a simple dinner of soup and bread. At that meal, especially be aware that many people go through life daily without something to eat or something to drink. Fasting is a means of expressing solidarity with those who are suffering. Later in the day when you feel hungry and the sensation grows, use that sensation as a reminder to pray for those who have little food. Secondly, apart from fasting from food, fast from spreading gossip about others. We're often tempted by our own self-righteousness to want to say hurtful things about others to make us feel better about ourselves. Gossip dehumanizes people, and it renders us more likely to treat others less than human, without respect. When you feel the desire to speak negatively about others, pray instead for those you may have hurt with gossip. Pray for a more generous heart. And finally, we come to the 3rd pillar of our Lenten practices, almsgiving. We can become more like Jesus during Lent by being generous. With your family, select a charitable organization and collect donation money. You may want to select an organization that addresses the injustices you identified earlier as part of the prayer aspect of Lent. This gives a concrete action to the prayer dimension of our lives. Here are some suggestions for collecting money. Put a jar or container on the kitchen table and contribute a set amount of money determined by the family each day of Lent. You can give up buying something that you may not fully need. Give up buying junk food, for example, and contribute that money to the jar. If you have young children who cannot contribute money, let them contribute by decorating the container or jar. And invite your family and your friends as well to contribute and donating to charity. In addition, you can show an act of kindness to each family member today and every day. Show an act of kindness to a friend or someone who is in a difficult situation. Together with your family, spend time serving others during Lent. Let it be not about you, but about others. Visit elderly people, those who are in nursing homes or those who are shut-ins. We may have a friend or relative in the hospital. Bring food or clothing to the parish or community food pantry or to the homeless shelter. Assist someone with their chores this week. In this way, as we journey through Lent, as we carry out these Lenten practices of prayer, of fasting, of almsgiving, we think less of ourselves and more of the needs of others. And like Jesus, we journey towards Easter with the hope that our world, our community, our homes will be a better place to live.